Hi there, I'm David. It's been a while since I've given you an update on what's going on in Grace Church and what we can expect for the coming weeks and months. And there's a few things actually I'd like to just give you a bit of an update on. And I thought rather than putting it all in one massive video, I would break it up into some little bite-sized chunks. And so look out for a new video each day this week. Each one will have a different focus, so they're not quite vision focused, but maybe they're little focal points, and that's what we'll call them. So today, I want to give you as much of an update as I can on our plans for emerging from lockdown and meeting back together. As always, we all have a different mix of emotions and perspectives that feed into that. And I do too, actually, and trying to process that all. As elders, we talk about this, we want to get it right. We hear what our government is saying. On the one hand, we get a feel for where our society is at. Along the way, we also want to hold true to the mandate we have to be a worshipping family. A church is a body, it's Christ's body. And therefore, we are so much more than the sum of our parts, although every single person is hugely precious in their own right. The law of our land at the moment says that places of worship are free to open, that people may leave their home for the purpose of gathering to worship. Yeah, for the reasons I've stated before, we felt it was right to press pause on our physical meetings for 2021 thus far. And that's in keeping with pretty much every other church that I'm aware of. But through it all, let us never lose our desire and determination to meet in one physical location and worship together. And it takes a certain dogged determination to hold on to that, because in so many ways we've become comfortable, even to a certain extent conformed into not leaving our homes to meet with our church. We want to get our meetings back, but it is also going to take some faith to do that. And probably a healthy dose of patience and compassion along the way as well. So as elders, we've been trying to come up with a plan that brings us back into physical meetings across our 4 sites that make up Grace Church, whilst also serving our children, being able to grow as we welcome in visitors and new people and make disciples together, and also showing love and grace to any who are not able to meet while others are meeting. So where do we start? Well, from now, I think the time is right to go back to where we were in December and begin to hold some corporate worship events at the Grace Centre, which we're calling Come and Worship. So the first of these is going to be on just not this coming Sunday, but the following one, Sunday the 21st of March in the evening. Like before, these will be available to around 60 people to meet in person, but also streamed online for anybody who wants to connect in. That's the first thing. That takes us pretty much to Easter. I know that many churches are focusing on Easter Sunday as the time to gather in person. I actually don't think that Easter Sunday is the right time for us to throw open our doors, but rather by staying online for that morning, we can celebrate the resurrection of Jesus, and we can do it in a way that recognises that we are a church family, that we are made up of all ages, So for 2 weeks over Easter, we're going to join up Supernovas with our regular Sunday morning. I don't know exactly what that'll look like, but I know I am looking forward to it, and that'll be good. So we're going to do that over Easter. But let me just talk about Good Friday, which is obviously a few days before Easter Sunday. On Good Friday, we want to create the opportunity to come together to worship together at the Grace Centre. What will that look like? We will gather around Jesus, we will take communion together. It won't be a long event, but it is an opportunity to gather together, to come together. Children will not be excluded from that event. Parents will just need to judge for themselves whether that's going to be something that's good for their children or not. We won't be able to provide any children's work specifically on that occasion. So then we enter this period between Easter and this magic date of June the 21st. Taking what the government has said at face value, I am confident, is that the right word? That by the end of June, we will be meeting back in our full sites, in our site venues. We will have worship, we will have refreshments, we will have children's work, and I hope we all get a buzz out of mucking in together, making sure those things can happen and happen well. Because of the importance of being a church that meets, I am really hopeful that we can open up our site venues before the 21st of June. In fact, before Sunday the 27th, I think it is. Even if initially we are restricted a bit from doing some of the things that we would want to do. So for example, like singing, like serving tea and coffee, there might be restrictions on us, but I want us to get back to meeting as soon as possible. So I think that soon after Easter, we will begin with step one, if you like, which is to open the doors at the Grace Centre on a Sunday morning so that a limited number of people can gather and take part in our regular Sunday mornings, but be there in person. At some point, we will see clearly when it is right for us to open our site venues. Is that going to be the start of May? Or is it the start of June? Or is it the start of July? I just find it impossible to say for certain at the moment. I'm hoping it's May. I really am. There's just too much unknown, too many variables to be able to commit right now. But in the weeks that lead up to that date when we open our site venues, maybe 2 or 3 weeks beforehand, leading up to that, we will introduce our children's work into our gathering at the Grace Centre in order to work out how that will run in our site venues. So, let me give you an example then. Maybe as an example, this is how the dates might work. We do Easter, which is only a few weeks away really. Then a few weeks after that, we begin meeting in the Grace Centre on a Sunday morning each week. Step one. Then a few weeks after that, we introduce children's work at the Grace Centre, step 2. Then a few weeks after that, we open our site venues across our 4 sites, that's step 3. Now that would put step 3 on Sunday, May the 16th, one day before the government's official step 3 on May the 17th. If the timescales, if we do need to increase the timescales, what we'll do is we'll add space between step 1 and step 2 that I've just told you about. Along the way, we may be able to do stuff outdoors as well. So that's kind of how I think it is looking at the moment. Now, throughout lockdown, our life groups have just been invaluable and they continue to be so. Let's not leave anybody behind as we go through the season. On the contrary, let's help more and more people into the boat as we go. So as the Sunday morning plans emerge, so the options open to life groups are going to continue to increase as well. So from Easter, we want to make the Grace Centre available for life groups to meet together as we did in the autumn. Of course, all being well, 6 people should be able to gather outdoors from the 29th of March anyway, and as it stands, indoors from the 17th of May, maybe sooner than that date. Some days I wake up and I think, why don't we just get on with it? And then other days I think, no, let's be patient, let's not do things badly. Every day I know that God is faithful. I know that He is passionate for His church, for us, for Grace Church. He's already tested out the ground ahead and has promised to do us good. So let's be patient, let's be in faith, let's hold together, even as we hold to Jesus, and we will get back to meeting soon. So God bless you. I will see you again soon for the next Focal Point.